So check it out. This is the first washer I've ever owned. Now, I just bought it a couple hours ago, and I'm not 100% sure it works. I know that the electrical panel works, and I'll show you in a second. But this is a higher or hair HLP21N. Going to clean it up a little bit. Before I invest too much time in it, we're going to make sure that it works. My guts tell me that because it's at a resale store, it probably works. If it didn't work, then it wouldn't be there unless somebody wasn't sure if it worked or not. Maybe they found it in their, parents or, cousins or ex's basement or, home, and they just sent it over to Goodwill or the thrift store without checking it. But my guts tell me that it's probably going to need a new belt. And I did check already on YouTube about replacing the belt, and I'm pretty sure that I can take care of that. But before we do any of that, hey, it might just work. So let's check it out. So here's the drainage tube in the sink, and I've plugged it in. I'll show you that it powers on. That looks pretty good. Sounded good. They all came on at, the appropriate time, all the lights. Let's check the cycle, change the cycle. I wonder how come it doesn't do low. I don't know. Let's see. Water level. Okay. We got the water level to low. I'm going to fill this up manually with a container of water because I'm not going to connect the hoses right now. And then we'll set it to operate. So before I turn it on, I just want to show you a couple of things here. This is the little filter where the inlet hose comes in, and it goes right here. It just sits right in there, and there's another little element down in there I'm going to pull out or investigate, but you can see all the sediment in there. Okay, so we're going to clean that out, and then we'll continue. So you can see here I've removed probably about 95%, 96% of the sediment. There's still a little bit on the edges, and I'll finish cleaning that out right there. I'll clean around here, this stuff here, because this is the inlet hose. And just so that it's cleaned up a little bit. I don't think this has effect on very much, although there is a gasket. You can see where there is a white gasket sitting here, where the nice white ring is, and I still have that, and that's in good shape. So let's just clean that up. I started to clean the cover here. You can see it's really dirty. Sometimes I feel just by cleaning things up, what I'm doing is I'm adding a positive energy, and so it's like telling myself and the machine, hey, everything's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine. So I went ahead and cleaned off the top portion here, the control panel area. They must have had a cat. This door looks like I can remove it, probably with some kind of, right here, some kind of tension here. Probably press on that and squeeze that or something. We'll figure that out. But there is significant amount of dirt down here. You can see it. See that line of dirt right there? It's grime, it's dust, it's hair, it's fur, all that stuff. We're going to clean that out. So I unscrewed the screw right in the center there, and it's loose, and that bottom part should come right back up. I want to see what's going on inside of there. Like I said, I haven't even tested this machine out, other than I know that it fires up because of the electrical panel lights, but I want to get an idea of what mess is down there, if any. But I got a feeling it's going to be very dirty down there. Okay, so I've taken the bottom part out, and surprisingly, it's not terrible. So we'll wash that. And then, this is not what I anticipated or I expected to see, So I'm going to have to take 4 more bolts off down there and see what's underneath there. Unless, I don't know, maybe I'll just leave it at that. And then I'll flip it over and inspect it from the underside. But I got a feeling I'm going to have to remove those 4 bolts eventually to clean this machine out. I think it would be a good idea to clean out the machine. So just on initial inspection, I find these very thin hair-like pieces of plastic that have been cut from the spinning action, which means that it's probably spinning unbalanced, and that's not a good sign. This is what's spinning, so I'm trying to figure out, okay, you can see here on the edge. Come on, focus. You can see there's a scratch mark there. There's also something going on here. Maybe something got jammed in here or something. But either way, this was probably, you can see some more signs here. You know what could have happened? Something got stuck in the machine. Like something metallic, something, you know, that was in a pocket in the pockets, and it was scraping along as it was whipping around. And that caused that puncture right there. And that's probably what was dragging inside of the machine here, spinning, because some of the plastic elements or particles, those strands came, I just pulled off of here. You can see here's one right here. You can't see it, but it's stuck. I'm going to pull it, and that's it right there. So all these little things here are evidence that there was something mechanical going on with this thing. Once again, I haven't even tested it to see if it runs or not, but I have an idea that something was wrong with this machine, and we're going to get to the bottom of it, and hopefully it's fine. Okay, so this is a good sign, I think. But see, it spins, it moves. So that's a good thing, I think. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not the most mechanically inclined person, but I have pretty good observation skills. And so for some things, I can figure some things out. My problem is most of the time, I'm just like, is it really worth my time? Is it a good investment or not? In this case, it's a learning experience, and it's not a very expensive one. It's a $9 learning experience. If this thing is not going to work, if it's going to cost me more than it's worth, then for me, it's a learning experience, and this will go to the recycling department. So for $9. But if it's just a belt to help this thing work properly, or it's a couple of bolts inside that need to be tightened or something so that this thing runs properly. But in my gut's telling me that whatever got stuck in here is probably what caused the owners to say, hey, this thing is no longer working properly. Let's just upgrade. You know, we've had it 15 years or whatever. Because this thing is probably, my guess, about 15 years old. Let's continue. Okay, I'm going to fill this up manually. Hopefully it doesn't have a leak. I don't think so, because I didn't find or feel any moisture in there. I can hear a little bit of water down in there somewhere, and I'll get to the bottom of where that is eventually once I run this or try this. And like I'm right near my back door, so I can just roll this right out and flip it over and drain this completely, and then take it apart, the back panel and the bottom panel, if it requires more work. But let's try it out. So I'm still filling it up manually. I've got about 14 liters of water in there so far. About 14 liters. So this is what I'm going to wash. I'm going to wash a pair of BDU pants, a thermal long sleeve shirt, a denim long sleeve shirt, and about 4 or 5 pair of underwear boxer shorts. That's what's going in. So I changed out the BDU pants for a heavy flannel shirt, and another few pair of socks. So you can see the water level here now. I'm going to say I probably put in about 32 to 34 liters of water. So I don't think this is an efficient machine. I think this is a good option for people that live in small apartments or minimalists. You know, if you're a minimalist and you're only going to wash underwear and t-shirts because you wear your jeans for 4 or 5 days because you're not really dirty, or you wear light, you know, hiking style clothes, this is a good option. I know that the new microfiber sheets that I use on my full size and queen size bed, I know that I can do one set of sheets in here with the pillowcases, and it would be probably less than the amount of volume of clothing that I have in here now. Full cotton sheets, I probably wouldn't do. Too heavy, too much weight. So it's either not working or it's weighing the water because I put it in manually, or the machine's broken. Not sure yet. We'll see. So I've hit start, I programmed it and all that, and it just made a noise like it's doing now. If you listen, and it's humming, it's, you know, doing its thing. But and then these lights turned off, and it was just wash and spin, and no activity whatsoever. Then what I did is, after a few minutes, I opened the door completely, lifted it all the way up, and put it all the way back down, and all these lights came back on again. So, like I said, my gut instinct is it needs a new belt. That's why it's not spinning. It's not doing anything. Or there's some kind of sensor or something that's it's not feeding the brain here, telling, hey, it's time to run, it's time to spin. Hopefully it's the belt and not something with the computer. Anyways, folks, that's my full video. I will make a second video once I take this machine apart, okay?